Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back again, and welcome to another DVD and Blu-ray update for December. Going to get straight into this one. Got a good mixture of Blu-ray and DVD. So the one and only non-horror title for the update is Flight of the Navigator. This is the UK Blu-ray and it's a fairly recent release from Second Sight. This is one of my favourite movies from the 80s, absolutely love it. If you've never seen it before and you're an 80s fan, you really need to check it out. Definitely recommend it. This one's about a young boy called David who's in the woods one night and he falls down an embankment and basically he gets knocked out, and several years have passed. When he wakes up, he goes back home only to find strangers living there. His family have moved away. They basically believe that he's gone missing. And he goes to a research facility in NASA. They believe that he's been abducted by aliens. Nice sort of little sci-fi adventure film that I do think is kind of underrated. It's one of those 80s movies that I think a lot of people forget about. The Blu-ray release, you know, it's nothing special in terms of special features. There's only an audio commentary from the producer and director. I haven't watched the entire film on Blu-ray yet. I just skipped through it just to see what the transfer's like, and it's a little bit hit and miss. You know, there's quite a lot of shots where it's still really grainy, and then there's other shots that are really good. So overall, you know, I don't think it's too bad of a release on Blu-ray, and I definitely would recommend it. This is a great movie and I'm glad to own it on Blu-ray. This is region free, by the way, as well, so that's Flight of the Navigator. The next couple are just upgrades from my DVDs. The next one is I Saw the Devil. This is a Korean revenge serial killer movie, and probably my favourite serial killer movie. It is awesome. I'm sure most of you have seen it. Yeah, a lot of you guys love this movie, and for good reason. It is awesome, really brutal, really violent. It's probably a little bit on the long side. That's my only little niggle with the film, but other than that, amazing movie, and I'm sure it's going to look absolutely phenomenal on Blu-ray. So if you've never seen I Saw the Devil, I highly recommend it. It's one hell of a film. The next one is The Ward from John Carpenter. Now, a lot of people really didn't like this movie, and I have no idea why. I thought it was a really good movie and a really solid comeback from Carpenter. It's definitely got Carpenter's classic feel to it. Now, this is by no means one of his best films. I mean, compared to his earlier classics like The Thing, Halloween and The Fog, you know, it's not as good as any of those movies, but compared to a lot of his latest stuff, this movie I thought was excellent. I loved it. So if you've never seen it before and you're a fan of the classic Carpenter stuff, I do recommend it. As I said, I know quite a lot of people weren't too keen on it, but it's really good. There's some nice twists and turns to it. So definitely check this movie out if you haven't seen it before. This movie I've never actually owned before, and I've rented it out several times. It's been the longest time since I've seen it. In fact, I can't even remember when I last saw this movie. But it's Cube. Finally got a individual Blu-ray release. Here in Australia there's like a double pack with this movie and another movie. I can't remember what it was, but I was holding out for its own Blu-ray release, and the UK finally got one, so looking forward to checking this one out. It's the 15th anniversary edition. Haven't watched this one since picking it up on Blu-ray, so not too sure what the transfer is like, but this movie is really good. Definitely recommend it. It's kind of like Saw, but before Saw. I think it came out in the late 90s, I think. yeah, it's not listed on here, but I'm pretty sure it's late 90s. Really, really good, about a group of people who mysteriously wake up in these cubed rooms. Basically, some of the rooms are full of traps, and they've basically got to work together to try and get out of this environment that they're trapped in. Really, really good. So I'm definitely excited to finally own this and give this one another watch sometime very, very soon. Alright, now on to the DVDs. This one I'm about to show, I'm pretty excited that it finally got released, and that is Season 1 of Goosebumps. Now, I know the US have had DVD releases of the episodes for quite a while now. I was contemplating picking them up every time that I placed an order with Amazon, but quite often they'd be a little bit too expensive. And then I was just browsing Amazon UK one day and came along this and was pretty excited. It is Season 1 of Goosebumps, and it has 16 episodes, which isn't too bad, on 3 discs. The episodes are The Haunted Mask, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, The Girl Who Cried Monster, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, The Phantom of the Auditorium, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder, Return of the Mummy, Night of the Living Dummy 2, Stay Out of the Basement, My Hairiest Adventure, It Came From Beneath the Sink, Say Cheese and Die, A Night in Terror Tower, and The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. So pretty good range of episodes. When I ordered this one, I did notice that Season 2 and Season 3 are due out next year, so I'm definitely going to be ordering those when they come out. Goosebumps, I can remember the show from the mid-90s. I loved the books, as I'm sure a lot of you did. And you know, the show was a lot of fun back then. I checked out a couple of episodes and they're cheesy as all hell, but I think I'm going to have a lot of fun revisiting this because I haven't seen it since the 90s, since the show was televised. So glad to see Goosebumps finally getting a decent release in seasons rather than all the individual DVD releases. So in my opinion, if anyone is looking to pick up the Goosebumps show, this UK DVD season set is definitely the way to go. We're going to end the update with some slasher films, and The Pumpkin Carver is the next movie I'm going to show for the update. This was pretty terrible, I'm not going to lie. I didn't really enjoy it at all. It kind of had a cool premise. It was sort of set on Halloween, but God, it had one of the worst Halloween themes or settings that I've seen in a film. The idea behind the killer sort of dressed in a pumpkin mask was kind of cool, but yeah, unfortunately this movie was pretty disappointing, so I really do not recommend it at all. The next one is Clown Camp Massacre. This was a lot of fun. You know, it was silly, it was cheesy, but for some reason I enjoyed it quite a lot, and I'm actually surprised how much I liked this movie. I know a lot of people probably won't really like this one. You know, it is really cheesy, really silly, but yeah, I don't know, for some reason I just enjoyed it and had a lot of fun with it. You know, it's by no means the best slasher film out there, and you know, it's not even close to being one of my favourites, but for what it is, I enjoyed it. The acting's pretty cheesy. Surprisingly, it was shot really, really well. Really well. And some of the gore and death scenes were pretty insane, pretty gory and in your face, and there were some awesome looking kills. They were kind of silly at the same time, but they looked pretty awesome nonetheless. So this pretty much reminded me a lot of the original Friday the 13th. There are a lot of similar scenes, a lot of similar references, and even a bit of the music resembled the sort of theme song from Friday the 13th, or the main tune, you know, ch 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 ma 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 ma. But yeah, whether I would recommend this to most of you guys, I'm not too sure, because yeah, it's definitely not a film that everyone will enjoy, but I certainly enjoyed it. This also has a trauma release. This is the other release that I picked up. This isn't the trauma one. I went for this release because I prefer the cover art, and you know, the transfer was really good on this one, no issues with that, and it does have a bunch of special features on it. This one also has a guest appearance at the end of the movie with Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma. The only disappointing thing about this movie was the ending, which was pretty bad. I really didn't care for the ending too much at all. I thought it was a bit silly, but yeah, surprisingly, I had a lot of fun with this one. So, Clown Camp Massacre. And last, and certainly not least, we have Graduation Day. This is the Trauma release. It's not a Trauma movie, at least I'm pretty sure it's not, but Trauma have released it on DVD, and this has been one that I've been wanting for ages. I was about to order it earlier this year, but then it went out of print for a while, or was unavailable via Amazon, so I couldn't order it, but then it soon became available again, and you know, I definitely wanted to order it, so finally got around to picking it up. And you know, it's a pretty good slasher movie from the early 80s. I really did enjoy it. It's a little on the slow side, so just keep that in mind, but yeah, you know, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of different to a lot of other slasher films. It had more of a murder mystery storyline behind it, but really good. Yeah, I, for some reason, really enjoyed this one a lot. You know, there was nothing absolutely spectacular about the movie. The kills were pretty simplistic. Nothing special about the characters, but yeah, Graduation Day, I did enjoy it quite a lot. And I really like the cover art and the cheesiness of the back of it there, some of the screenshots. But yeah, I definitely would recommend Graduation Day if you're an 80s slasher fan and you've never seen it before. Alright, so that has been this update. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and thanks a lot for watching.